The Gears of War franchise's multiplayer is special, and Gears 5's selection of multiplayer modes carries on its tradition of excellence. If you want to break from the intensity of Nasher shotgun quick draws in classic and ranked versus, you can swap over to the chaotic weapon party of arcade. Or a group of friends can jump into a long session of Horde or Escape if you're short on time. They're all fun and tense as always, and the impressive new additions fill gaps for certain playstyles and moods.
Some in my eye.
Regardless of whether you choose to play a PvE or PvP mode, Gunplay is precise and pairs beautifully with the chunky running and smooth sliding of the core cover movement. Some weapons, like the Hammer Burst and new Talon Pistol, feel like they're on the lower end of the impact scale, but most options generally seem well-tuned and balanced in the standard Gears fashion. This means shotguns, particularly the Nasher, will always have a chance for a one-shot kill when you're up close, just the way it should. Add that weaponry to excellent cover mechanics and we've got a solid foundation for a great cover-based shooter. Gears 5's versus modes are as enjoyable as they've always been, and more so in certain cases. Classic quick play and ranked are great Nasher and Lancer battlegrounds we've come to expect from Gears multiplayer. The only knock on it is that classic quick play's singular queue for team deathmatch and all other game types, which makes it tough to get into other modes like Guardian or Escalation. Arcade is the standout new mode of Gears 5's Versus though. It's a more casual and chaotic game type that welcomes those who feel they're always the Nash, never the Nasher, with open arms. Here, player loadouts are determined by picking a character, and when you down an enemy, kill them, or even if you die enough, you earn skulls to purchase better equipment. Even for experienced players, Arcade is a fun way to get some extra time with some favorite weapons. The 7 launch maps for Versus and Horde are designed well, especially for Versus. There's a great mix of the expected arena-style maps of varying sizes with great layouts that allow for easy flanking of key camping spots. Each map has neat dynamic events, like the laser bridge on Exhibit. These interesting hazards are great additions that don't feel too unfair once you learn where they are. Horde has its fair share of added strategy too, and that mostly comes from the shift of having class cards from Gears 4 to having actual characters with assigned roles and unique abilities aligned with their big personalities. It's a list that even includes 2 Halo Reach characters and Terminator Sarah Connor as DLC. The most exciting character, though, is Jack. His unique stun gun and built-in repair tool are great replacements for weapons. Better yet, his ultimate ability allows him to assume control of an enemy unit for a limited amount of time and cause max chaos at no cost to his health. At first glance, he seems like the character you'd assign to a less experienced player, which is not a bad idea because he can hang back and lend a hand without taking as much direct fire. But in the hands of an experienced player, he can be used to pull off some really awesome strategies, especially since he automatically goes invisible after being left alone for some time. But seriously, when will we get the ability to pause Horde mode? When you hear a friend has had chili cooking all day and it's finally ready when you're almost an hour in at wave 25, you have to wonder when they'll sabotage your team a little just to get a short break. In lieu of that, we get Escape, the newest major co-op mode. Instead of defending yourself through 50 waves like in Horde, you'll have to get out of a dangerous swarm hive that's slowly being filled with venom. It's essentially an inverse of Horde for when you want that sort of strategic challenge but don't want to dedicate hours to 1 or 2 runs. Composing a strategy between your team of 3 is crucial for success at the harder difficulties, especially when the weapons enemies drop are unfavorable and the difficulty modifiers stack up. Each run on Escape will have slightly different enemies, but the Coalition plans on keeping it fresh and exciting by periodically cycling out the current map for a new one. This means that it can constantly present unique and unpredictable challenges, and there are even leaderboard rewards to go with it. Gears 5's veritable horde of multiplayer modes is the best package the series has delivered yet. The excitement of additions like the new chaotic arcade versus and the unpredictable escape maps mixes with timeless classic thrills like getting awesome Nasher kills to take out enemy leaders in versus and claiming close victories in Horde. It all refines and expands upon the series' already diverse range of ways to play. And while there's a good level of depth to Gears 5's combat, even if you choose not to indulge fully in it, you and your friends can still have a great time anyway. I'm Destin Legarie doing this video for Miranda's review, so make sure you check out our review of Gears 5 campaign next if you haven't, and stay tuned for IGN's complete review of Gears 5. And for more thoughts on Gears 5 multiplayer, be sure to check out the full written review, and for everything else, stick with IGN.
You have given me the greatest gift, pride in my creation.